Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Edio Tukoya, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I find really interesting, but came about as some of the challenges that I've been discussing with some of my clients and some of my students as well, and that is the act of asking. Sometimes, as individuals, we find it difficult to ask for something we really need. We paraphrase, we go around in circles, but without telling um, people exactly what we want from them. In the last few weeks, I've actually been lucky enough to take that on board, especially for people who are shy. We don't naturally want to ask because we are afraid they might say no. But the problem is, without asking, we already have a no anyway. And that's happened to me several times where instead of, I've done a great job, but I haven't asked for either money or a pay rise. And in several instances where I've managed to some of the courage to ask, they've said, yeah, of course, why not? We're expecting you to ask. Sometimes we ask too little. And this brings me to the story about, I think, about the penny, that we did a job and we asked for pennies and the world gives us pennies, and we're wondering that if only we could ask for more, we could have gotten more. So today, my challenge to you is ask. The worst case scenario is a no. A no is not such a bad thing, because at least if you get a no, what you're doing is you're signaling to the other people that you are interested in that particular job. That's happened to me in the past as well, where I've applied for a job and I haven't got it, but they weren't even sure. They weren't aware that I was interested in something like that. So when the next role came along, I got the opportunity because they now, by asking the first time, they now realize that actually I was interested in that. And that's happened in several instances as well. The other thing about the act of asking is everybody, we are also focused on what we want to achieve. That is difficult to pick up some of the signals from other people. So unless you say specifically, can I, or please do something, it's difficult for people to realize that. One incident that happened very recently was I was looking for an opportunity, and I mentioned it in passing to somebody else, but I had no idea that that person actually had what I said, except that a couple of days later, I got a phone call saying, I've got this client for you. So without asking, without going out of the way to mention what you're looking for to people, they will never know. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Another thing I will really want to talk about, and this is from my notebook actually. This is one of the Stoic principles about something called amor fati. It allows us that even when we face challenges, we see that as a stepping stone to becoming, to getting to the higher level. So always think about it. Challenges, even the no's, are part of the game of life. Of course, people are going to say no to you, but when they do, that's a challenge. Of course, when you aspire to do more, you're going to get a lot of no's, absolutely, but keep going as well. So, amor fati is really about the fact that whatever it is we're doing, we can become better. And whatever it is that people or challenges that we find on our way, it still can be made better by our attitude. There's another thing I wanted to, again, from the Stoic principles, which is to say that let's think about this. It doesn't matter what it is we do now, and all of these great people before us, we're all at some point going to die. So let's live today as best as we can. And when we do that, we at least can satisfy ourselves that we have done the very best we can for today. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not here. So the focus is, how can I make the very best use of today? I spend a lot of time on YouTube trying to find out what people are doing and everything else. And I have seen so many suggestions about people say, yeah, start your own YouTube channel. To do what? So you need to be specific about what is really critical for you. And that is what is important as well. To subscribe to the channel so that you can get an update version of all of these things that I'm working on. I'm working on so many projects at the moment, including some of the ones that have gone in the past. So I'm talking about Stockdale paradox, how this guy, despite the challenges he faced, became a massive hero. And there are so many of those as well. The essence of this is to encourage you, to help you to find what it is you're really here to do and excel and become the very best version of yourself. I wish you all the best, and please subscribe to the channel and keep your comments coming, because I learn from those, and some of the videos you want me to talk about, please feel free to write and I will be back to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.